world, welcome to my little corner of the internet. I'm Stephanie, or Steph if you want to call me Steph, because I like Steph a lot. And I'm going to be doing the 20 questions book tag, because I'm really bored and I felt like doing a book tag. I also wrote it all down on notes, so you're going to see me looking down a lot. I'm not looking at my crotch, I'm looking at the notes, so yeah. First question, how many books is too many books for a series? It really depends on the series, because there are some series that are really good and I wish went on for like ever. Like I would never stop writing, would just go on forever and ever and ever. And then there are some series that shouldn't exist. I can't think of any right now, but like you can probably guess some. Like there are some that are just like, no, don't do it, stop. Like pause, stop, nope, stop, done. Absolutely not, don't do it. Alright, next. How do you feel about cliffhangers? It depends. If I have the next book in a series after the cliffhanger, then I'm pretty much okay with it. If the next book in the series isn't out yet, I fucking hate cliffhangers. 'Cause that's awful. I would get so mad. I'd be like, why did you do this? Because I hate cliffhangers when it comes to and then you have to wait like a year or two for them to finally bring out the new book, and you're like, finally, I can finally see the cliffhanger be fucking fixed, and I'm like, oh my god, thank god. Yeah, and it like you're just like waiting for hours and hours and like days and years, and you're just like, finally it's here. I don't like cliffhangers when the book isn't out yet. But if the book is out and I have the next book in a series, then yes, I do like cliffhangers, because then they're kind of fun, but then I can go on to read the next book right away. Hardcover or paperback? Depends on the paperback. If the paperback is really floppy, like, hold on. If it's got a good flop to it, then I love paperback. But hardback, sorry, I'm struggling. I'm just going to put this here. I'll fix that later. But hardback looks really pretty on a bookshelf. So it really just depends on... Also, hardbacks are pretty expensive. So I like paperback because it's a lot cheaper. So I don't have to worry about spending as much money on books, because I already do that a lot. And like my mom is trying to stop me from buying so many books, and I'm like, okay, I'll stop that. And I paperbacks are cheaper, so they're like better. So I like paperbacks more. My favorite book. If you're new to this channel, I am a whore for The Fault in Our Stars. I love John Green, and I love this book. I've read it 20 times, literally 20 times. I love this book. This book is my Bible. Love it so much. Would read it so many other times. Am going to read it so many other times. Literally in love with this book. It's so good. Almost made me cry. I didn't cry. I haven't cried yet. But it's so good, and I have it basically memorized soon. It's so good. I love it so much. Oh my god, it's so good. There are some flaws in it. Yes, I know. There are some flaws. Every book has flaws, but this book is amazing. I love it so much. It's my baby. It's my baby. I love it. So much. Least favorite book. I fucking hated this book. All the characters just needed to go to therapy. There was not a healthy-minded person in this book. All these characters needed to go the fuck to therapy and figure their shit out. Not get into a relationship, not try and fix each other. They needed to go see a professional. Not a fucking 16-year-old with dick. Literally, go to a therapist. I hate this book. It's awful. Love triangles, yes or no? Depends on how it's executed. Some love triangles are executed poorly. Some love triangles are executed great. It just depends. It depends on the author and how well they did it. Some are good, some are not. The most recent book you couldn't finish. The Book Thief. I don't know why I can't seem to get into this book. It's just not interesting to me. I don't know why. It looks really cool. It sounds really cool. But I just can't seem to get into it. I want to, but I just can't. My brain won't let me. It's weird. I just can't finish it. I just can't get into it. It's so strange. But I've heard so many good things about it, so I want to read it, but I can't. I just can't get into it. And it sucks, because I want to be part of the hype. I want to understand why people say it's so good, but I can't get into it. A book you are currently reading. I am currently reading Misery by Stephen King. Because it is fall now, which means it is spooky season, which means it's time for horror books, which means Stephen King books, which means my favorite. I love Stephen King. This is one of my favorite Stephen King books. I've read it before, but I'm rereading it because I love to. It's very good. If you don't know what it's about, there's a movie about it if you want to watch the movie. The movie's actually pretty good. It stars Kathy Bates. She's a fucking icon. It's really good. The book is really good as well. Super creepy, super, like, obsessed fandom type thing. So, like, it's fangirls being like, maybe we should not be so creepy and everything. It definitely made me take a double take. Like, am I being creepy when I talk about these guys that I'm a fan of online? Like, am I being a creep? But then I'm like, no, I'm respectful. I'm very respectful to people like that. So, yeah. But it is very good. And it's creepy. It's not, like, scary horror. It's more thriller, slasher type book. And it's just, like, unsettling. That's the word. It's unsettling. Some of the shit that happens. Annie Wilkes is clearly very mentally ill. And she needs help. But she doesn't get it. She gets fucking shamed. And then she kidnaps her favorite fucking author, which is, like, my dream sometimes. Literally, I would want to kidnap John Green. I'm kidding. I'm not going to kidnap John Green. But, like, her favorite author is in a car wreck, and she basically kidnaps him and drugs him. So he's addicted to drugs that only she has. So he has to stay with her. But he starts getting clever and trying to escape. It's so good. Oh my god, I love it. The last book you recommended to someone. Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone to my best friends, but they won't fucking read it, even though I bought them a copy for their birthday. The oldest book you read. Pride and Prejudice by Jane Austen. The newest book you've read. I have no clue. I don't focus on that kind of stuff. Favorite author. Stephen King or John Green? Buying books or borrowing books. I love the library. It's a magical place. The college I'm going to has a double-floored library with spiral staircases, and I'm like, oh. It's huge, and I love it. It makes my little nerd heart want to, like, just run around. Like, it's like a kid in a candy store. I just want to run around and look at everything. It's huge, and I love it. There's so many good options for books, and I love the library, because you can just borrow them and then give them back, and you don't have to spend money, because I'm don't have a lot of money, because I'm broke as fuck, and you just take the money, and you don't have to use money, you just get free books. It's great. It's perfect. It's like genius. Like, free books? Hello, sign me the fuck up. Let's go. Alright. A book that you dislike that everyone else seems to love. This one again. There was a movie made out of this, so enough people liked it that they made a movie. I fucking hate this book. I read it and I fucking hated it. Go to therapy, all of them. They all need therapy. Sorry, I gotta flip my page here. Let's go. Alright. Bookmarks or dog earing? Bookmarks. I hate dog earing my own books. It makes me very uncomfortable. But you do you. If you want to dog ear your books, go ahead. Don't dog ear mine. Dog ear yours, don't dog ear mine. A book you can always reread. Twilight. I love Twilight. Twilight is one of my favorite book series. Yes, I am that bitch. Twilight is my comfort book. It's one of my favorites. It brings me so much joy. And I don't know why. It's really bad. Like, it's full of so much problematic shit, but I love it. It's bad. But to me, it's perfect. So I could reread this shit all day. I might actually go reread it tonight in my Twilight blanket. Because I can. Can you read while listening to music? Yes, I can. I can also read while listening to ambience noises like rain or people talking or like fandom ambiences. Like, I love those. Like, the ones that are like, you're in a motel room with Sam and Dean and it has like little snippet conversations from the actual show. Like, I love those. They're great for reading. They keep me so focused and I'm like, get out of my head and focus on the book, and they're great. But I can also listen to music while I read. It just depends on the music. If it fits the book, then yeah, I can listen to the music while I read. It's really fun. One POV or multiple? Well, considering I'm writing a book with multiple POVs, I'm gonna have to go with multiple because it's just more interesting to hear about multiple characters. I love listening about multiple characters. They're just so fun. Because, like, who doesn't want to hear multiple characters' thoughts? Like, that's so cool. Do you read a book in one sitting or across multiple days? Depends on the book. There are some books that I have binge read and completely did it. Like, when I first read Twilight, it was raining. It was a day off of school because there was ice, and it was raining, and I sat on the vent in our house looking outside at the rain, and I binge read this book. And I fucking loved it. Like I said, I love Twilight, so, like, yes, I'm that bitch. But, again, it really depends on the book, because it takes me a few days to get through some books, and then it takes me a few hours to get through some books. Like, Breaking Dawn, I read in 7 hours. Here, I'll even get that out to show you how I read this in 7 hours. Just let that sink in. Just this. I read this in 7 hours. Like, who does that? Like, that's insane. I was reading it. I was like 200 pages, I was like 100 or something pages in. I looked at my phone. It was night, it was midnight, and then I kept reading. I finished the book, and there it was like 7 a.m., and I was like, what the fuck? So yeah, I read this book in 7 hours. 7! Like, what the fuck? Alright, then number 20 is, who do you tag? Anyone who wants to do this. I'm a small booktuber. I don't have any friends to tag her at all. So anyone who wants to do this, you fucking do it. Do it. I don't care. Well, anyway, it was nice having a fun little tag with y'all, but, like, bye.